Hold my wine, bitches! We're starting off with a 9-handed double-board bomb pot. In the cutoff, we're dealt the janky 9-9-5-3 suited in hearts to our 9. Watch me whip, watch me nay-nay, bitches! The flops fall 9-6-6 with 2 clubs and king-queen-8 with 2 diamonds. We flop the second nuts on the top board with nothing going for us on the second board. Immediately, a player leads out for the full pot of 135. I'm fairly confident I'm winning half this pot, so the last thing I want to do is get this heads up. If I had strength on both boards, I wouldn't mind narrowing the field to try and scoop, but only expecting half the pot, I want other players in there to ensure my half of the pot is as large as possible. So I just call. One other player makes the call, and we are going through ace to the turn, which falls the ace of diamonds and the 2 of hearts. The short stack, who was the third caller, checks. The original bettor puts out a pot-size wager of $540. I've now turned a flush draw on the board I didn't expect to have much equity on, and a backdoor flush could give me the scoop here. I just make the call, not wanting to scare off the third player. The short stack thinks for a while before getting it all in for their last $380, making this pot exactly $2,000. Here you go, homie. The rivers are the jack of clubs and the 7 of hearts getting me there on the runner-runner flush. Now the original bettor slows down and checks, and I announce pot, which puts me all in. He snap calls, and unfortunately I'm not going to be scooping as he backed into a flush as well, turning over queen-queen 4-4, double suited with hearts. I got excited, man. He had hearts too, right?
Yeah.
We all made a flush. Jesus. All right.
I have hearts as well.
Damn.
And a set of aces.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I had scooped, maybe.
I was not trying to help myself.
If I had scooped, we could talk about the black chip. It would have been at least a green chip. Thanks. There's a $10 raise under the gun, and 2 callers to me in middle position. I'm holding ace-queen 5-3 suited in hearts to my ace. My side wheel cards are pretty weak, so this hand, aside from a nut flush draw and a couple of high cards, doesn't have a ton going for it. However, if you believe that the betting will not get raised behind you and you're comfortable post-flop, you can play this. In more aggressive games of straddles, this hand is finding its way into the muck, as it can't stand a ton of pressure. Well, I spoke too soon. The cutoff makes it 65. The button calls, the small blind calls, the original razor calls, the 2 lippers call, and closing the action with so many players in the pot, I decide to take a 7-handed flop with these knuckleheads and see if I can hit gin in a pot that is already at $460. Alright, no pressure. One of us will be happy, 6 of us will be miserable. The flop falls 7-4-2 rainbow, giving me a wrap straight draw. A 6 on the turn wouldn't give me the nuts, but it's most likely still good a decent chunk of the time, so overall this flop was ridiculously fortunate for my holding. It checks to me, and I bet the full pot of 460. I don't expect this board to hit anyone all that hard. My draw is very strong, as any ace, 3, 5, or 6 will get me there, and I don't want to see this check around given the pot is already so large.
Knock the back door out. Yeah, no, I think it's the first time I've ever been faster.
Wrapped.
Oh my god, that was...
Figured that was a better flop for me than you guys. I had backdoor hearts too. Thank you very much. Doing the Lord's work. There's 2 limpers and in early position. I come along with a very pretty and coordinated king-queen jack-10 double suited in clubs and diamonds. A lot of players give me shit because many players would choose to raise this hand, but given the nature of Texas PLO, I want to see flops against these boneheads rather than give up my skill edge and just get it in pre-flop for stacks against them when equities run so close together. This is a hand that flops well, so I don't mind taking it multi-way, and I can comfortably call raises with it. 1 caller behind us, and now the cutoff makes it 35. The small blind calls, the big blind folds, 2 lippers call, the other lipper calls, and 6 of us are going to the flop. The flop is decent, falling queen 7-6 with 1 heart and 2 diamonds, giving me top pair, the third nut flush draw, and some backdoor straight possibilities. It's checked the round, and the turn is the not-so-helpful 4 of spades. Once again, it's checking around, and now the original raiser puts out a bet of 150 from the cutoff. The small blind calls, one of the limper calls, and I decide to let this one go. Let's see what happens next. Let's see what transpires. Six of hearts. Alright, small blind check. Limper shoves the hole in. Go ahead. Small blindfold. Show a deuce. Show a deuce. It's good for the game. Show a deuce. It can be the deuce of diamonds. That's fine. Shows the queen of clubs. That's it. The $10 straddle is on. There's 3 callers, and I'm in the hijack holding ace, king, 7-6, double suited to my ace and king in hearts and clubs. There's connectivity between the cards for straights and flushes, and this is certainly playable, so I'm in there. Both blinds fold, the straddle checks, and we're taking this flop 5 ways.
Poker Jeezy in the heezy, keeping it sleazy.
Well, that's a pretty good flop, falling 10-4-3 all hearts, giving me the stone cold nuts. It checks to me and I opt to slow play it, hoping someone with a weaker flush will pay me off on a later street. There's always the risk of the board pairing, however, so you can also bet here sometimes as well. Since I'm in later position, I could bet anywhere from 20 to the full pot. I might get action if people believe I might just be taking a stab at it. I've also seen people call chasing gutshot straights on flush and paired boards, so you just never know who will give you value. It's checked around, one player calls for a 3, and I call out for a 10. The turn falls the king of hearts. This is actually good because it may embolden someone to make a play now with a weaker flush or even a naked queen of hearts. It checks to the hijack who bets 35. I just call and we go heads up to the river, which is safe, the 7 of spades. Now the fool on my right bets 60 into me, and he's about to get a face full of my nuts as I raise to 150, and he snap calls with the jack high flush. I have the jack high.
I was trying to at least control the betting, you know?
Yeah. And I was trying to let you control the betting.
Yeah.
I was like, let him in.
I was like, pair the board, maybe I can spike it.
Thank you. Oh, did you have a draw?
I was just gonna bluff.
Under the gun, I limp in with ace, jack, 8-8, suited in spades to my ace. There's one limper behind me and then a raise to 25. There's 2 callers, the button calls, the small blind folds, the big blind calls, and I'm in there. The guy behind me calls, and we're taking this flop 7-handed. The flop comes down ace, queen, jack, rainbow, giving me top and bottom pair on a pretty dynamic board. When it checks to me, I check, and it's checked around. The turn only makes the board worse, falling the king of clubs. Once again, it's checked around. A player shouts for a 10, but the river falls the 3 of hearts, and we check it down. Ace is up.
I got a set.
Oh, set is... we let him get there.
Oh, did I get there?
We let him get there. Ah, God damn it.
Oh, shit. There's no way.
We let him get there, son of a bitch. That'll make the vlog. That's some shit.
1 hand left.
Oh, wait a minute. Nope. All right.
We all got a 10 block.
Hi-ya. You're famous now. Do you want to be on the camera?
No.
No, all right. He's in the witness protection program.
Yeah.
It's a 9-handed double board bomb pot. I'm in the big blind holding the extremely ugly queen 4-3-2 suited in diamonds to my 4. Big money, no whammies.
Big whammy.
Wow, I used to love that. Press your luck.
That was awesome.
That was such a fun show. That and Hollywood Squares. The flops come down 4-4 deuce rainbow and ace-ace-9 rainbow. I flopped the nuts on the top board, but I have nothing on the bottom board, and my hand is super vulnerable to being in a spot where I can get free rolled, as I don't have a lot of ways to improve. The board can mostly only get worse for me on most turns and rivers. My best hope is 2 players have an ace, and I can sneak away with half this pot while they fight over the other half. There's a bet of 50, the small blind calls, I call, and we go 3 ways to the turns, which fall the 9 and jack of spades. We both check to the original bettor, who now leads for 225. The small blind insta-calls. Given both boards have a 9 on them, I'm not overly concerned that I'm beat on my full house board. I make the call as well. The rivers fall the 8 of spades and another 9, the 9 of clubs. But,
965.
did you check?
Check.
He didn't check yet.
We haven't acted here.
On in the dark.
He's got to leave that in there, I guess.
Damn.
Well, if we check. If we check, if action doesn't change.
So he's all in. I can give a count.
Oh, that's gonna be 350.
Check your 100 stacks to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with it. Trust me, dealer.
You are correct, sir. I believe you.
How much is it?
That's 350.
That's 350.
Actually, it's back to you.
All right, let's go with the original plan.
How much is it? $965 total.
Yes, sir.
So 615 more. Is that right? 615 more. All right.
Okay, let's open with these two.
I got
first.
fours full of deuces.
All right, I got an ace. I had a 4 also, but
So wait,
didn't get there.
Fours full of deuces. I get half. He gets half. So we chop
You got
that.
3 aces.
He's got 3 aces. I got nothing on that board.
Take these back.
Take the side pots
Not
back.
this one. This stays too. Now, sir, this is what you're up against.
All right, that's what I was hoping. Man. They both had aces. So he's got ace of spades, 6 of spades, 6-4, 6-4 of clubs.
No, you gotta play two cards,
Ace
sir.
7, 2 of hearts, and
7
7
good
of
enough
clubs.
plan. That's gonna stay alive. I'm gonna fold this.
Nice hand, nice hand. I was hoping you both had the aces. I'm like, all right, there's
the 4.
like there's only one 9 left. There's only one 9 left in the deck, so I figured you both were going with the aces there. So
That's why I was like, hit the nut flush up top. I'm like,
is this mine?
Yeah, he gave me back.
Oh, okay.
Good hand, man. I didn't know if my 7 was going to play or not. I was like,
Nice hand, though. Nice hand. Whew. I was just like, if I run into 4-9 or 4-8, like, what can I do? I knew I wasn't up against 9s full on my board. And if you're river at 8s full, you got me. Good for you. Whew.
I'll take it.
Yeah, me too. I was like, please let
I
me
was
good for
hoping
him.
y'all were both battling 4s back here.
No,
Oh,
I-
let's make yeah.
I mean, I would love to take it.
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
I'm a hot mess today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, we are continuing the trend of winning sessions, winning $1,063 on this episode. It's feeling good going back to some of the older content and finding those wins. It has been a bit of a roller coaster. Like I said before in a previous vlog, September was brutal. October has been better. I've definitely had some hands where I'm like, what the fuck? But overall, the sessions have been better. I've been posting more wins, so feels good to be moving in the right direction and seeing everyone, tune in every week, leaving all the supportive comments and, hitting the like and, more subscribers coming in. It's been great to see the channel continuing on the upward trend. So excited for next week's episode. It's going to be a supersized episode, a meetup game that was recently held at the lodge. We've got Doug Polk, we've got Brad Owen, we've got Pot Limit Omaha, Big Pots, supersized episode. Most of these recent episodes have been, 6 to 8 hands, kind of shorter episodes. This one has, I think, 14 hands plus lots of other content as well. So pretty excited for it. A lot of extra work for me, but that's okay. You guys are worth it. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and I'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe, bitches.